Hello everyone, it's me, Traffic Wild Coffee, and as you can see, we are playing some more MTGA, and yes, it's more traditional draft war for the Spark. Oh yeah. So let's pop those gems in there. So I did say in a previous episode I'd ran out of gems. I decided to play a BO1 draft of Allegiances before it got rotated out for the Ravnica constructed. And I was going to record it, but I got disconnected from two of my games, which does not make for good, very good watching. But I still went 6 wins, so it must have been a pretty good deck. It was a pretty good deck. And it earned me enough gems to play more traditional draft, so it feels good. Anyway, let's start picking cards. Pack 1. We've got Command the Dreadhorde. Command the Dreadhorde. Now, if we can pick up a Wanderer, this card is just broken. Or we can pick up the Gideon Sacrifice, which is a bit gimmicky, but it does work. It does work. Might be worth it, honestly. Might be worth it. Let's pick up a Command the Dreadhorde. We'll try build around Command the Dreadhorde. So we need life, or we need things that prevent us from taking damage. And we need plenty of creatures as well. But this pack seems a little bit not good for us. I guess we could take Aid the Fallen, but we don't have any Planeswalkers yet. Spellkeeper Weird actually is very good here because it can recur Command the Dreadhorde. So yeah, probably worth picking up one Spellkeeper Weird at this point. Here we've got excellent card draw, excellent removal, and we'll take the removal. Early on in the game, that's always a good idea. Here we've got Spark Reaper, it's pretty sweet. Oh, Gideon Sacrifice. Ooh. Yes. Okay, so we got the meme. Now we just got to make it work. So we don't want exile effects too much because we want to be able to destroy our opponent's stuff. Thus, we can then resurrect it. But you know, Wanderer Strike is just really good, so we'll take it. We'll take it. Here, I mean, sacrificing our own stuff is actually pretty sweet, but we're not really in sacrifice colors. So, I mean, Sorin's Thirst is fine in this deck. I'll probably take the Unlikely Aid or the Toll of the Invasion. I think maybe Toll of the Invasion. It just deals with God Eternals so nicely. There's very little reason not to do it. Teo is probably the best card in the pack for us, so we'll
Serving
take Teo.
the people is an important part of my life.
Good job, Teo. Good job. We're all very proud of you. I think we'll take Gateway Plaza here. Fixing for, you know, our colours is probably going to be quite important. We'll grab Teo's Light Shield. We want lots of Durdle. Durdle is the name of this deck. We will take an Aid the Fallen though, because that's pretty sweet. I guess Bond of Revival, but we'll probably sideboard it since Command the Dreadhorde is sort of our big I win card. Dovin's Veto can be pretty sweet for getting rid of Planeswalkers. Sergeant's a bit of a filler card, but we'll take it. Unlikely Aid's a pretty decent combat card. Ral. How likely are we to cast Ral? Pretty unlikely. How likely are we to cast Tamio's Epiphany or No Escape? Very likely. So I think we'll take Tamio's Epiphany first, since that helps us dig for Command the Dreadhorde if we're going to do crazy stuff with that. Here is an interesting spot. Do we take D-Spark, which is very powerful against certain creatures? But are we assuming our opponent's even going to have 4 drops is the thing? A lot of people like to play pretty low curve decks, although it is very good. One of the better pieces of removal, otherwise we're taking a Sorin's Thirst or a Toll of the Invasion, so I suppose D-Spark is plenty playable to run it. Here we can take a Lazotep Reaver, which is a very nice target with Command the Dreadhorde. It's nice and cheap, it has good effects. Or we get Thunder Drake, because Thunder Drakes just wow you. I think we just take the Walu. It's always good to pick Walu. Here, and we can't cast spells from our graveyard. Keep this in mind with Command the Dreadhorde. But we can cast our opponent's creatures. So even if we look a little creature light, we can just steal our opponent's stuff. Let's take an Angrath, because Angrath is just
Here be monsters.
Yeah, Angrath is just sick. Here, we're a little bit meh for cards. So I think I actually like the Guild Globe, just to help us draw through our deck and maybe fix colours for some of our 2-drops, which are pretty good. Got another Gideon Sacrifice. Do we want to go double Gideons? I don't think it's worth it, because if we, what if we don't draw Command the Dreadhorde? The Gideons are just kind of useless. They're not useless, but this is a difficult choice. We've got life gain in case we can't find the Gideons and we have to use Command the Dreadhorde for whatever reason. It doesn't pay for itself is the problem. So it's 6 mana and it gains you 5, so you basically pay 1 life for a 3/6, which is still very, very, very good, but it's not quite as good. It's better to play it and then not bring it back with Command the Dreadhorde and just use the 5 life to bring back more valuable creatures. Probably from my opponent at this rate. But I think we're going to take something else. I'm just not sure if we want a Relentless Advance, Silverwing on Finisher. I think the Finisher seems pretty decent. Especially if we get some more mass tokens rolling. What do we want here? Probably take the Wall of Runes. I could take the Screecher. Screecher's not bad. Actually, Screecher could be quite nice with Command the Dreadhorde, since the following turn you could just tap and then your entire board gets +1/+1. So I think we'll take Screecher. It is a flyer as well, which makes it pretty helpful. We'll take the Visionary. Nice to select cards with them. Ooh, no escape wield. I'll take no escape. And a second Toll of Invasion I probably like more than Price of Betrayal #1. Yeah, I'll take a second Toll. I suppose we'll put a Crowvold in the sideboard. No, we'll top the statue for the sideboard. Makeshift Battalion's a lot more playable, so I might play it, but I'm relying on the sideboard. Right, let's think about stuff we're going to cut. Could probably easily cut the Loxodon Sergeant and still feel fine about the deck. And we do have a Gateway Plaza, so we're actually looking at adding 1 more card. There's the Wanderer. So we've got the full meme deck, full memes with Wanderer and Gideon Sacrifice. Now the Wanderer can be used prior to casting Command the Dreadhorde, so I think it's probably still worth running both. But yeah, we will take the Wanderer.
Prepare yourself.
Okay. Now we either take really value creatures that we don't mind losing, for example, Herald of the Dreadhorde, or we take value removal like Prison Realm, because Prison Realm's just dang. They're just gonna take Prison Realm. I'm sorry. I know we need creatures, but we could just steal our opponent's creatures, is what I'm trying to say. Callous Dismissal. I think we're just going to upgrade our spells in this deck. A Tyrant Scorn. See, we don't need creatures, we just need value removal. No, I will take a Lazotep Reaver here, because that's just good stuff. How many Price of Betrayals have we seen? Like 5? It's ridiculous. Here I'll probably pick up the Silverwing, because it's a flyer. Here I'll definitely pick up a second Gateway Plaza, because that's going to really help our deck fix. So, here I guess allows Lazotep Plating. We could splash for Invade the City. I'm not actually against that, because we do have a crap ton of spells. And nothing in this pack is particularly exciting. So I think we're going to splash for... We're going to play like Spells Matter. We're going to play Esper Spells Matter. Taylor's Light Shield seems fine. Another Silverwing. Price Betrayal. Naga we're not going to play. And a Bulwark Giant, which we might play. But dear God, we have to make some cuts. To be fair, we don't actually have a huge amount of playable creatures. Like, our creature base is pretty weak overall. So, let's grab Commander Dreadhorde, let's grab Wanderer, and let's grab Guidon Sacrifice, Guardian. We want to run both the Gateway Plazas. Actually, do we? Depends if we end up in white, black, or blue, or anything, really. Angrath's pretty legit. If we run triple colour, we do get all this value, so I think it's probably worth it. Obby's Cruelty is just top notch. Lazotep is top notch. Thunderdrake, Tamiyo's. Spellkeeper lets us recur just such value. Callus is a great one of. Visionary's going to be solid. No Escape, maybe, but we'll see what our white looks like. Prison Realm, Mateo. Wanderer's Strike, double light shield. Yeah, No Escape. Aid the Fallen, or do we want to drop it and Invade the City? I think if we run Guild Globe, we could run Invade the City. And then do we want Aid the Fallen, or do we want Toll of Invasion? I think we want Toll of Invasion. Another creature like Vraska's Finisher wouldn't hurt, because our creature base is currently 6. We have 6 creatures. But we do have a crap ton of removal, so that's a plus. Let's pop in to Gateway Plazas. We want to run a mountain for Invade the City. It doesn't really help us cast anything else, so I think we're going to take the mountain out. And it's going to suggest a mountain. I suggest we don't play a mountain. I suggest we play an extra plains. Okay, so now our curve is very low, and it is very much just removal. But we're going to need some more stuff if we want this deck to work. Now we are mostly stealing our opponent's stuff. So I think maybe Toll of Invasion beats out on Aid the Fallen. Yeah, I think Toll of Invasion beats out. Now, is there anything we want to cut? We do need some low-cost cards to keep the board in control. Teo is going to be a good way of keeping the board under control. Is Spellkeeper Weird too cute? It's a decent blocker, and we can just sack it to return something like No Escape if our opponent tries to drop something very scary that we're holding up mana for. I think when you're running 12 instants and sorceries, Invade the City becomes pretty decent. So, yeah, we should probably keep that. The Wanderer is obviously a combo with Commander Dreadhorde. Wanderer's Strike, very decent. Actually, I'm going to take an island out and put Swamp in, because I don't like having double black as our win con and double black on Angrath and not having a decent number of swamps. So, anyway, Wanderer's Strike, decent removal. Angrath is great to put tokens on the board and also just allow you to punch through at your opponent. It's going to be incredibly overpowered with Commander Dreadhorde if we can get that to work. But yeah, I think this is just going to be Commander memes, because there's just nothing about this deck that isn't just a total meme. Okay, let's go Nephilim. I'm going to just say we're Esper Splash with 1 red card, and it's not even like a proper red card because it's an Izzet card. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this deck performs. It's got a lot of good cards in it, it's got a lot of good removal. It's just whether we can keep our opponent off of their game plan whilst we just do nothing, really. This seems fine, because our deck doesn't mind being really slow. Especially since we're playing first. So ideally we want to draw another land here. That's not another land. We're just going to drop the Gateway Plaza. That way we have the option of Obnix's Cruelty, D-Spark, we've got good options here. Ashiok. Well, that's something that we can't deal with, and we're not going to have much of a graveyard to stop our opponent from doing that. So I'll tell you what, we'll drop the Thunder Drake because it's a better creature to have blocking up the ground, and we might be able to double spell on our following turn, depending on what our opponent's got here. Saheeli. Okay. D-Spark only hits CMC 4, so we are hitting a lot of land though, so that's good. Yeah, we haven't hit too much like super value. Now we're not going to be able to double cast here unless we draw Gideon's, and I don't know if it's worth it, so I am going to Tamiyo's Epiphany anyway. I'm going to scry these two to the top and put those on top of the deck. The reason why is that Ashiok will mill these two, and we've already got our two plazas in play, so we can fix our blue. We're going to keep these two on top. So we're trying to counter Ashiok as best as we can, and we will swing at Ashiok.
Your lack of fear disturbs me.
Relentless advance, that's fine. We're not too bothered by that. Wait, he selected himself? Why would he select himself? Did he misclick? I think he must have misclicked. Okay. So let's Laztep Reaver. Do we Prison Realm Saheeli? I think it's probably worth Prison Realming Saheeli. And also puts count on Thunder Drake, so it's definitely worth it. We get to scry 1. We're going to target Saheeli. And we don't want that swamp. We've got plenty of mana already, so. And we will swing for 3. So now that our opponent milled themselves, we can get a Turret Ogre. We didn't hit any of our Planeswalkers yet. Oh, it's a Manticore. So, we will block that with the Reaver. So what we're going to do is, this actually exiles all their stuff, which is kind of awkward. It's a bit awkward our deck exiles their things, given we have Command the Dreadhorde and we want to keep their things, but that's the removal we were given, and that is the removal we will use. 4. Okay, so opponent's on a pretty big curve deck, which makes our counter spells and things a lot stronger. I don't think we want to command the Dreadhorde yet. We don't have a huge amount of good targets. Like, we could pull their Ashiok, but I think we'll let them burn through their deck a little bit more. If they swing, we'll double block the Manticore, but it depends what tricks they might have in hand. Contentious Plan. Okay, that doesn't matter. So our opponent's playing a spells-based deck, which kind of hurts our deck. That was an Angrath. This is going to get exiled as well. Oh man, let's exile it. I don't want them to have an Angrath, that's going to be too scary. Teo's Light Shield seems fine, yeah, we'll keep that. Opponent doesn't swing. Put a count on itself, and pass turn. So we want to just force our opponent to swing, basically. Okay, he is swinging. He's going to offer the trade. He's probably got a combat trick of some sort, but... Okay, we will block this with everything, see what our opponent's got. So he's probably got some sort of removal. Cyclops Electromancer, okay. It's fine. That's actually given us a lot of value to our Teo as well.
I defend. I'll block them off.
So they've actually put a lot of value in the bin for Command the Dreadhorde. Oh, and a Tibalt as well. Oh, if we can kill Tibalt, because you can hit Planeswalkers with Command the Dreadhorde. So, oh, it's an Angrath. Oh, boys, we're doing it. We've got Menace Wolves.
If you want it, fight for it.
The Amass token would actually trade for 2 creatures on his board. It could just trade for the tokens though, so I think I'm going to wait till I pump it to a 5/5, and then he has to block with some more valuable creatures to get rid of it.
My friend is here to help me.
Okay, and a Wanderer's Strike. It's pretty solid. So we can Wanderer's Strike the 3/3 token. And we're going to proliferate everything. And we're going to dump Teo in the bin. We're going to Angrass when it turns into 6/6. We're going to go with Tibalt.
Your head.
Oh, they let it go through. Oh, we're going to have such a good Command the Dreadhorde next turn. We don't have Gideon's thingy or anything like that, which kind of sucks, but... Invade the city. That seems pretty decent.
Come on.
Right, do we Command the Dreadhorde here? Like, because we'll kill ourselves, that's the problem. I think we're just going to mass. We don't necessarily need to reveal Command the Dreadhorde. Like, if we're quite capable of just holding the board down without it, then what does it matter? Probably should have held that back, because Krenko's going to get swallowed now. Oh, damn it. Oh, I didn't see that one coming. Oh well. Let's just block him. Okay, it's more land. Well, we're just going to have to wait, because we can't swing. Although our opponent's probably not got very good removal for a 12/12 mass token. They might have a Callous Dismissal, but aside from that...
Join my order.
For a lot of
Focus on
Planeswalkers.
what matters.
Right, we could dismiss the Krenko. We could dismiss the Kasmina. I'm not sure what's best. I think I like dismissing the Krenko, but it doesn't really do anything. It does allow us to swing at Kasmina and force them to make a trade, so we should just cut their board down a little bit. I can even swing with both. I think that seems fine. We'll swing both at Kasmina. I could just swing 13 at face and just force them to block it. Rather than at Kasmina. Because they don't have to block to save Kasmina. They do have to block the 13/13 token. Wait, they're going to 5 block on the Teo's Light Shield? 2, 3, 4, 5? If you care that much about killing the Light Shield, I guess. And do I care about killing 2 goblins or a wizard? I think I'd rather get rid of the 2 goblins, because they're just more problematic for chump blocking. Okay, all we need is a Gideon Sacrifice and we're golden, or we need a Wanderer. And we only have 9 cards left in our deck, so we should be able to find one of them. There's Krenko. We'll just take 4, that's fine. Now we could just Ashiok them and we're getting pretty close to winning. Oh, Tyrant score, that's pretty good. So, let's destroy Krenko. Even if they've got like a Crushed Descent, we can still just pay the mana for it, so... And we'll just pass. So we've got Wanderer and Gideon Sacrifice in the top 7 or in the bottom 7 cards, which is fine. Unless did we ditch Gideon Sacrifice due to Ashiok? I don't think we did. I deliberately checked, and yeah. Okay, so Spellgorger Weird might actually become a problem. There's a Dovin's Veto, it's pretty handy. If I command the Dreadhorde, I could Dovin's Veto in response to their Crushed Descent, but what are we getting out of it? Because like we don't want to die to command the Dreadhorde, which is why we have to have a combo piece for it. And we can't play Wanderer and command the Dreadhorde in the same turn. So we're basically playing Wanderer and then exiling this Electromancer, I guess. Oh, we'll keep the land in hand. I don't really see much point in playing it. But we're running out of options very quickly if we can't draw one of our 2 pieces that let us do something. So our opponent's gonna like just go for a massive spell turn, I guess. Come on. What are the odds that both Wanderer and Gideon Sacrifice are in these cards? Like, what are the odds of that? That's pretty silly. Eternal Skylord. Okay, so their mass token's got flying now. So we actually have to get thingy because we can't command the Dreadhorde and stop that. Gideon Sacrifice, okay. So we're going to Gideon Sacrifice on a wall. And we're going to command the Dreadhorde. If our opponent tries to kill the... We're just going to pick everything. And we're going to win by Ashiok-ing our opponent. Now, if they try and kill this wall, we just Dovin's Veto it, so...
I am vital to a chance to prove my skills.
That's a lot of value. That is some value that just happened there. Hey, we will put 1/1 counter on Krenko, because Krenko gets super value if you put counters on him. We have 14/14 menace creature now, so, or 16/16, whatever the hell it's going to be. Heartfire. Oh boy. Oh, Dovin's Veto. Where's the Heartfire? Oh boy, Dovin's Veto. Mad lad. So, opponent's basically stuffed here, because they've got now 1 card left in their deck, and we have 4.
Put me out front.
Ramming speed.
Oh, we just exiled 3 playables. That's pretty harsh, that is. Right, so we just swing at their face for 18 damage. They have to double block, because we've got Menace. Okay, so gonna let 2 wizards go under the bus. And opponent concedes. Okay, so Command the Dreadhorde won game 1. Now, I know most of our removal is, in fact, you know, it's exile. And that's not good. We do need to fix that. Which means we might want to take some of it out in preference for... Now, is Cast Dismissal good? They don't have too many amass tokens, but they do have a few. D-Spark seem to be a little weak, except against the Manticores, which is a fine reason to keep it in. Might take the Guild Globe out. I think taking out the Guild Globe is probably fine. I think we need to, like, get our Toll of the Invasions online to deal with Ashiok. That's going to be really important. Do we need Invade the City? Probably not. We'll take that out. We'll put in Vraska's Finisher. We have some more creatures on the board. Wanderer's Strike actually did really well in that game. It's just a really good card anyway. I think maybe we do take out the D-Spark, because it only has a few targets, and they're targets we can probably deal with without it. So is it? I think it's worth taking D-Spark out for Price of Betrayal, since they do have a lot of very problematic Planeswalkers, so Price of Betrayal is going to deal with them pretty nicely. We'll go into the next game with that. This seems fine. I haven't got a 2-drop, but we'll open with Plains. Since we're not playing on anything on turn 2, we will just drop the Plaza. And here we will drop Teo.
There's no greater honor than serve. Talk to the wall.
I hate Teo so much. I hate him so much.
My assistants are painfully
slow. Let's drop the Thunderdrake. The sooner we get it on the board, the sooner we can deal with Tibalt and potentially ramp it up. Opponent doesn't have any real creatures, so it's fine. Okay.
The more, the messier.
So if we drop the island, we can play the Visionary and the Finisher. He's not going to choose to block, I assume. Okay. So we will just play the Finisher as a creature, since it blocks the Skylord on the ground and puts counter break. So it's probably worth it. If they send their 2/2 token at Teo, we don't care. Again, we want our stuff to go to the bin. It's fine. We want our stuff to go to the bin. Okay, so they've got a larger mass token now, which might be a little scary, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. They could Heartfire the Thunder Drake, which would be really, really painful. But we just need to Tamiyo's to get to our Commander Dread Horde and one piece of the combo. It can be Gideon Sacrifice, it can be the Wanderer, it doesn't matter. Either or. There's Teo's Light Shield. I will preference cast Tamiyo's Epiphany. And there's a Gideon Sacrifice, double Toll of the Invasion, and a Tyrant Scorn. I think I like all these cards, but... Or do I just bottom Gideon Sacrifice? It means the Wanderer is going to be somewhere in between those, but... Gideon Sacrifice might allow me to do a really nice combat trick where I just swing everything, let them do some dodgy blocks, and then just send all the damage to a shield, I guess. But I like the rest of the cards. I think we'll put the Tyrant Scorn on top, so we have it in hand for this turn. And do we want to use it? I could just bounce the token, to be honest. I think that's probably worth it. And then Thunder Drake is another counter. We get to swing for quite a lot of damage. They're going to Heartfire, I guess. Bolt Bend. Wow. Okay, opponent. Oh yeah, he does play Bolt Bend. I saw it when I milled him with Ashiok. Dude, that's memes. That is some memes. You don't see people play Bolt Bend very often. That's for sure. Opponent has burned their hand down, so that's a plus. And we can deal with the Tivol's Rager. Are they going to just completely dump her hand? Okay, maybe not quite. Let's play an island, drop the Thunder Drake. If our opponent's got Crushed Ascent, we can deal with it. Okay, we'll just hold Invasion. Now they might just Crushed Ascent here, which means they get to a mass 2, but nice. What have they got on hand? Cyclops? Yeah, no thanks. Screw your Cyclops. We could just swing for 3 here. It will just get blocked by one of the imps though, so there's not really much point. We just need to stall the game out. That's all we got to do is just stall the game out. Tivol's Rager, I'll just happily block with Vraska's Finisher. Force him to pump it. And he gets to ping the Amass token, but that's fine. We're not too bothered by that. Okay, let's Teo's Light Shield. Take a count on Thunder Drake. And hold the Invasion. Oh, do they have Crushed Ascent now? I don't think I saw it when I milled them. I didn't think I saw Crushed Ascent. Okay, they're just going to ping us for 2. That's fine. Do we swing for 5? I don't think we try and race them. I think we just stay how we are. So I'm waiting till their end step to Visionary the Swamp, because we might need the extra blockers. Opponent drawing 2 here is pretty scary, actually. We know for a fact they do have some reach in their deck. There's a Krenko. Okay. Krenko can swing into us freely, since we have to block the Amass token with the Drake. We'll see what they do. Okay. Erratic Visionary. Ditch the Swamp. We might have to Erratic Visionary in our main phase. Since we pulled the Laztep Reaver, I'm less worried about doing that. Do I want to just try and get the double cast on the Drake? I think it's probably worth it. Okay, we'll ditch the planes and we'll drop the Plaza, capping the... I know we could have kept the Plaza, but to be honest, we're going to draw more land, so it's fine. And we will pass the turn. If our opponent forces us to make blocks here, we will do. We'll just Gideon sacrifice everything onto a wall. Opponent's not going to swing. Okay, we got another Teo's Light Shield. Do I like Teo's Light Shield, or do I like just drawing a different card? I think I like drawing a different card. Let's just try and get to the combo. I think I'll hold the Light Shield in hand. We don't need it as a blocker right now, so... Angrath, okay. That's a problem, because we don't have 2 flyers.
If you want it, fight for it.
So, what we have to do is swing the Thunder Drake at Angrath to stop his menace, and then Gideon's triumph in response, because... Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, resolve. So what we're going to do, here's how we're going to block. We're going to put these 2 under Krenko. We're going to put that and that under the Skylord. Because that means the Skylord doesn't get flying. We're going to block those 2 with that. We're going to take 8. And see if our opponent taps for a spell that kills us. Because they might Heartfire a Goblin to send that at our face. So we're going to let the damage go through. So we're on 2. Does our opponent have the Heartfire? We're not sure. We're going to need to send the Drake at Angrath. So let's just do that now.
Take all sail for high and dry.
Okay. I think we drop the Light Shield, but do we want to do the Visionary yet? I think we drop the Light Shield and put its counter on itself, so we have another blocker for these tokens. And then I think we just pass. Let's see what our opponent does here. We're not holding up white, so he might not be worried about Gideon's sacrifice, but he knows he can kill us with just the imp tokens. So, let's see how he does this. Okay, swinging everything. So, we're going to put a... We're actually going to kill the imps, because I want to try and... Oh no, because if I kill both the imps, that will just force him to... That will force me to use Gideon's sacrifice. So I can just chump the imps, to be honest. And we can just send those 2 under those 2, and then the Reaver underneath the mass token. Pass the damage. Okay, we'll tap this guy. Ditch Island. So he dies and goes to the bin, so more fuel for the Commander Dreadhorde. We're just drawing land here, which is kind of meh. We've drawn a lot of land because we've already ditched 3 to the bin and we've got another 2 in hand, so we should have just nothing but gas left in the deck. Do we try and knock our opponent down? Because we can't trade for this, so we might as well just swing, right? Like we can't trade for the Commander Dreadhorde, so just swing instead. I think we want to block this. We want to start cutting those imps down so they've got less chance to ping our other stuff. Is that 1 damage can go face? It is. Wrong. Saheeli. There's the Wanderer. Well, that gets rid of 1 problem. And she prevents non-combat damage to us, so all we need to do now is get rid of Saheeli and we've just locked the game down. Because our opponent can't ping us very hard. They have to just cast a spell to remove the Wanderer. Turret Ogre, doesn't matter. That wouldn't have dealt any damage to us anyway, because it's non-combat damage, so... we will cast Dismissal the 1/1. We will Wanderer the Turret Ogre.
Bye-bye now.
And we won't swing with the Light Shield, because it doesn't increase the clock. Like, our opponent's dead in 4 turns whether we swing with the Light Shield or not, so... Oh! And we pulled the game out! 1 life. The only life point that matters is the last one. I can't believe we won that game with a deck that's completely built around casting Command Dreadhorde, and we didn't even get there. So I guess the deck actually has got legs, even without having Command Dreadhorde as a win con, which is really nice to see that the deck itself is fine. It's a fine and playable deck. It's not like our opponent's deck was bad. They had a few choices that I'd consider a bit odd, but like Bolt Bend. But Bolt Bend actually did end up being pretty valuable to reset our Drake. This hand's a little janky, but I think I like it because of the Guild Globe, so it lets us fix and draw for white mana if we want to cast any of our white spells. Now ideally we want to find some actual planes, or Guild Plaza, or Gateway Plaza, but it's fine. Arboreal Grazer, oh no, opponent's ramping. Opponent is ramping hard. Okay, they're playing Simic, so probably Simic Proliferate, which is pretty scary. On the plus side, Obby's Cruelty is very, very good against Proliferate decks. Because, I mean, -5/-5 is normally enough to deal with most things that they might play. I think I actually like playing Prison Realm here to get rid of the Aven Eternal, because it lets us scry, and I'm not too bothered about the Guild Globe, so... Now that it's on the board, I never use Guild Globe, so I might as well use it now, because at least it does something. Command the Dreadhorde. We have the Wanderer. We almost have the mana to cast it, but... There's no way we can remove creatures, so we're going to have to bottom it. Which feels bad, because we're going to have to win the game somehow, some other way now, because we can't rely on Command the Dreadhorde to do it. I know that feels real bad, but otherwise we're just dead in the water if our opponent goes off, so like they are doing currently. So we're going to have to Obby's Cruelty the Grazer, which feels real bad, or we could just Toll. We could just Toll, like, if they proliferate this more, we can Wanderer it. Oh, Crush the Sen. I'll get rid of that. No blocks. There's Teo's Light Shield, so we need some white mana. Now, do I get rid of the Grizzly or the Grazer? I think we get rid of the Grizzly, because the Grizzly actually poses a threat in terms of card advantage. So I think taking the Grizzly is the correct play. Unfortunately, we're taking damage, and we don't really have any way to stop it. Snare Spinner. Alright, no blocks. A D-Spark. Yeah, we just draw low white cards that we can't use. So we're basically going to lose this for being mana screwed, but I shouldn't have kept a hand without white. But when you're playing triple colours, you just gotta see what you can do, right? Gotta see what you can do with the cards that you're given. And we've got 2 Gateway Plazas, so we've got plenty of fixing. And this is just too late. This is too late. So we can't even double cast. That's a problem. If we could double cast, we might have a chance because we could Teo's Light Shield and D-Spark, but we'd probably still be dead. So Plains was a couple of turns too late, but that's okay. We'll move on into game 2. So against Proliferate, what do we want? They've got some cheap flyers, so maybe we want to run War Screecher. I think Proliferate's going to be pretty scary with amass tokens, so we definitely want those. I think we want a second Toll of Invasion. Probably just take out the Guild Globe, to be honest. I might just make that as a change and just take that out of the deck. I don't think a large amass token is going to be our main concern here, so we can take out Invade the City and pop in. Is Vraska's Finisher going to be worth it? I think overall our other cards, I think Vraska's Finisher is going to be most legit, so it's better when you're swinging, which we don't do very often, but we might find some maybe Unlikely Eight's better actually. We don't have many creatures on board most of the time though, so and most of our creatures aren't particularly powerhouses, so... Maybe we take the Silverwing instead. Let's take the Silverwing because it helps block the air, and they do look like they've got some flyers. If they start proliferating on those flyers, we're gonna be real sad. Let's see if we can win this game. I think we have a chance. Like, the deck is good. We just got mana screwed there. I think ideally, if we weren't being mana screwed, we probably would have had a pretty good board state against theirs, because we could have just disparked the Bloom Hulk and got some pretty good gas online. This hand seems fine. We're a bit heavy on black, but we do need double black to cast Command the Dreadhorde anyway, and double black to cast Angrath, so... Okay, opponent's not ramping. Blue mana would be ideal here, but we'll live without it if we can't find it. We do get to toll one of their best cards in their hand, since they won't have the mana to play it out early. Oh, there's Command the Dreadhorde. So ideally we want to hit creatures with this. Now, as long as we know they've got Crushed Descent, we can play around it. Evo Sage is just going to be nuts, though. And it could help us a lot up. If we Command the Dreadhorde and pull an Evo Sage, that's pretty good value. Like, we can use that to proliferate our Planeswalkers and our Amass token. And also Thunder Drake, so I think that's fairly legitimate. No blocks. Opponent hits us for 1. They've got 3 land. I think they drew another land, so they're not having a good time. Now, we're going to Tamiyo's, and we want to find... I don't think we actually want any of these cards. That seems better. So we could have kept a land on top, but we only need to draw 1 more land to play Command the Dreadhorde, and we're still waiting on pulling our other combo pieces, so we don't need to worry too much about it. Kasmine is a bit of a nuisance, to be fair.
And learn your true power. My students are loyal geniuses.
I think we'll get the Saheeli Silverwing out. Oh, there's Thunder Drake. Oh, I'd much rather get Thunder Drake on the board. Now, we can't double cast, we need 1 more mana to do that. But if we draw mana, we can double cast, otherwise we can just cast normally. Just drop down a Silverwing, just call it a good day. Opponent might hold up Crushed Descent, in which case we'll play around it by just playing 3 drops. It's very likely that... No, okay, they're going to drop the Skulker. I think I want to Ob Nixilis the Skulker, because that's going to push a lot of damage if we don't deal with it now, so... And that did cost us 2 extra mana because of Kasmina, but that's fine. Oh, Snare... Oh, crap, I forgot it's got Reach! Ah, I forgot they had Snare Spinner. Oops. Oops. Well, this is what I get for playing, like, literally half an hour after I woke up. I'm just not thinking very well. Oops, indeed. Oh, maybe I'm just trying to fill Command the Dreadhorde. Maybe that's the plan. Hey, yeah, good plan. Aven Eternal. Okay, yeah. It's a good job we put the Silverwing in the deck. Otherwise, we'd have some problems. Ouch. They can't Command the Dreadhorde here, so I think Silverwing's probably our just best play. Wall of Runes. Okay, we don't care about that, so. That's good to know. Good to know our opponent's not got any good or particularly amazing top decks coming up. Now, I wouldn't mind Command the Dreadhording for just what's in the bin already. If we can kill Kasmina, it would make it even better. Oh, there's a Downbreaker. Ah, they might put Wall of Runes in the bin here. So they might put Wall of Runes in the bin just so they can hold up their other stuff. And they put a New Horizons in the bin. Okay. Are they going to swing? They're going to swing with everything. Except the Aven Eternal. No, they're going to swing with the Aven Eternal as well. Alright, so they're just trying to push damage on us. We're going to have to take these blocks. So we're taking 4, 6, 7. Or we could take 5. Is there a difference between taking 5 and 7 and keeping a blocker for the Downbreaker? I don't think so. So... Alright, Chaos Dismissal's good. So we can drop a Teo. If we tap like so. So we can Teo.
I am Teo. Let me be your
We can Chaos Dismissal the Amass token, which gives us much better blocks on their board. And they have to choose, do they want to kill Teo, do they want to go for us? Wall of Runes, okay, so they're going to be holding up Crush Descent, which is kind of sad, but they can't now make our spells cost more, so we can get rid of the Dam Breaker with Prison Realm, so we're going to just focus on chumping the Dam Breaker and killing off his wizard tokens. And he is just going to push damage on face, which is fine by us. Ooh, Gideon Sacrifice, so we just need to find another white mana.
Support my allies.
You can Crush Descent this, but we'll just pay for it, so it's fine. So we're still in the game, but only just. Only just. Does he choose to Crush Descent here? It makes sense, because it puts more pressure on the board, which he can use to deal with our stuff. We could always use the Spellkeeper Weird and sack it to return, like, Tamiyo's Epiphany to try and draw 2 lands, or try and return Obnix's Cruelty. So he's not going to counter this, so he's just going to hold up mana. Let's get rid of the Dam Breaker, and we're going to scry Wanderer. Do we need the Wanderer? Is the Wanderer actually going to help, is the question. Because we can't cast the Wanderer without being countered. I don't think the Wanderer helps. I don't think it helps, to be honest. So we can block all his creatures, which is good, because he didn't Crush Descent, so he hasn't got the extra cards available. Ideally, we want to draw blue mana so we can play Spellkeeper Weird and hold up No Escape. Well, we'll see how it goes. Opponent is thinking, maybe I should have Crushed Descent. Opponent passes. Okay, so we found more land. So we can play the Spellkeeper Weird, and we can't hold up No Escape, but I think we just need more blockers on the board. Okay, seems fine. Arboreal Grazer, that's very unexciting. So he's got no more land in hand, so he's got 2 spells. Which is pretty scary. Pretty scary. A Dovin's Veto, okay, that's very good. I think we'll just pass. We'll play the defense game. We've got 2 counter spells in hand. We've got Gideon's Sacrifice to protect against burn. Not that they'll have any, but Dovin's Veto can't be countered either, so his Crush Descent is useless against it. And it's the kind of spell that we need to counter Crush Descent. Arlen. Oh, our opponent's tapping out. I don't think that was the correct move. I could have Dovin's Veto to get Arlen back from the bin. But now, do we want to return a spell to our hand with the Spellkeeper Weird so we can... So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we don't have enough mana to do the combo. We've got to draw land off the top, so we can't afford to sack the Spellkeeper Weird just yet. Angrath is pretty good, though. And we can still hold up Dovin's Veto, so...
Never seen water, come on!
Let's pass. Wall of Runes, yeah, we'll let that resolve. Not that we can't let it resolve, we just have the option of sacking the Spellkeeper Weird. Opponent's on 18, we're on 20, so we are winning the late game, sort of burning our decks out game. Not a game you particularly want to be forced into playing, but do we sack the Weird? I think we do. I think we sack the Weird for... We could sack it for Toll of Invasion, but then they'll just ditch Crush Descent out of their hand in response. I think we sack the Weird. I think sacking the Weird is a correct play. We could go for Tamiyo's Epiphany if we want to draw particular good stuff. Otherwise, I think Toll the Invasion might get us some value if we can hit a creature in their hand, and it looks like they're holding up 2 spells. They could be holding up land, but... I think we'll take Tamiyo's. Try set up on the Dread Horde. Okay, so we're gonna... Tamiyo's Epiphany. Does our opponent try and counter this? They don't. We want both of those, but we'll put D-Spark on top first. We put the island on bottom. Oh, I should have drawn the. I should have drawn the fucking. Oh man, that was bad. Should have drawn the blue mana so I could have Dovin's Veto.
The only prize I desire is your head.
Right, one time, no Huatli. No Huatli. Roalesk. Okay, that's fine, because we can de-spark Roalesk. So we can block the Snare Spinner, so that's fine. Don't need to worry about that. Okay, so opponent's tapped out. I would ideally like to pop my Planeswalkers. I don't know how likely that's going to happen though. What have we got in the bin to take back? We've got a Spellkeeper Weird, which can recur spell value. We've got a Thunder Drake, that's pretty good. Opponent's got an Aven Eternal, a Kasmina, a Skytheta Strix, and an Evolution Sage, and the Evo Sage is just going to let us go ham. So I think we do that. I'm going to choose the wall. And we're going to command the Dread Horde. And return everything, because we are Meme Lord. And opponent's probably going to scoop.
My instruction and prepare for war.
I'm going to Kasmina.
My
We'll ditch the Light
loyal
Shield.
and brilliant.
And we will swing with our 5/5 Mass token. With Menace. Opponent takes 5. What does our opponent have to play? Probably not very much. A Bloom Hulk. Ooh. Oh, they're going to have a Swole Snare Spinner. They're going to swing with their Snare Spinner. They might as well. I mean, it's not like we've got anything to block it with. No, okay. So we're going to Kasmina again.
Hone your
Okay,
control.
we will... we're going to ditch the Reaver, because we get to proliferate off the swamps, which is just value, so do that instead. And do we Spellkeeper Weird for something? I don't think we necessarily need to. We could do, actually. We could Spellkeeper Weird for a Callous Dismissal, and then bounce the Snare Spinner. It's probably worth it. So take Callous Dismissal. Okay, submit that. They're going to try and Crush Descent, but it doesn't matter, so just bounce the Snare Spinner. That way they haven't got any reach. They've got the Arboreal Grazer, but that doesn't really count. And if they try and Crush Descent, we just Dovin's Veto it and then put a counter on the Thunder Drake. You have to Crush Descent, just Dovin's Veto, so they get literally no value. Thunder Drake gets counter, Strix gets counter, Callous Dismissal, Snare Spinner. Go to combat, swing for 7, bam, 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 all the flyers, and then we're blocking with tokens and the Evo Sage, which should be fine. Opponent has to block, because otherwise they're taking 5, 10, 15, 17, so if they don't block they die. They could put 2 Wall of Runes in front of the... If they put 2 Wall of Runes in front of the zombie army, they only lose 1 creature, and then Arboreal Grazer can block the Aven Eternal. So that's a free block for them. They're not going to block like that, okay. Well, what could they top deck that kills us? Because... just in case, I'm going to pop Teo.
Put me out front.
Okay, so opponent didn't have an answer that turn. So the deck doesn't actually seem to be that like full of powerful cards. They do have an Arlen, which does make me want to sideboard in Price of Betrayal, but if that's their only Planeswalker, I'm not so scared about. about Arling, because I can always just despark her. Or Dovin's Veto her, or Prison Realm her, or No Escape her, or Toll Invasion her. So we've got options. I think the deck played fine, as it was. So we'll go into the next game with this. Some long-ass games, because we're just trying to draw to our Command the Dreadhorde combo. I'm probably going to turn this into a two-part video, because I've got a War of the Spark draft to play today, but it's a paper draft with my box. So no doubt you'll hear me talk about what I got in my box in a later video, probably part 2 of this video, and it should be good fun. Should be good fun. We'll keep this hand. We do get the extra draw. We've got a decent amount of mana, so we can cast at least probably 2 of our cards, possibly all 4 if we draw some black mana. So I know it seems a little odd to keep a hand where you can only cast 2 of your spells, but this is draft, and being able to cast even just 2 of your spells is probably pretty good. Wall of Runes, okay, opponents have a Scry. They've got a decent number of those in the deck, so I think they're just trying to win with like a flyer style, or just to proliferate. I'm not really sure. They don't seem to have very, like, Evo Sage is obviously a very good win con, because you can just proliferate creatures into Oblivion, and then they just go face, but it's not a very consistent win con, because you've got to get the counters out on your creatures first. Okay, so we'll drop white, because, yeah, might as well. Opponent's not got any green mana. This could actually be very bad for them. They might be scrying for green mana here. Yeah, it looks like they're stuck on green mana, so... Okay. So we just have to pass again. Oh, we can play Teo, I suppose. We won't create a wall with him. We'll just see what they do with the Strix. Because the Strix is the only thing that can attack him, and it's got flying, so... opponent literally has no green mana, so... It's interesting.
My students are loyal.
If he draws a forest here, it's going to feel real bad, because he'll have to discard something actually good. If he wants to keep green mana. He might be mostly a blue deck with splash of green, but we'll see. We do get to drop the Thunder Drake, which will help block the board up. He drops the Evo Sage. That's good for us, that is. So we're gonna drop the Thunder Drake, and we're gonna create a wall.
Talk to the wall.
Oh god, I hate Teo so much. Kasmina's drawing and ditching something good, presumably. The thing is, the more creatures he ditches into the bin, the more value we get out Command of the Dreadhorde, so that's always good. Bloom Hulk, proliferate on Kasmina. That's a pretty weak Bloom Hulk. Not that we have an answer to it, so weak Bloom Hulk or not, we have no answer to it. So I think we have to Tamiyo's for black mana. Oh man, this is really harsh. We've got the combo and everything, we just got no black mana. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to order our deck so we get Command the Dreadhorde and Gideon Sacrifice. We'll get Command the Dreadhorde first, but we've got to find black mana, otherwise like we can't win the game. So okay, no black mana. I've got 5 swamps in this deck, but we won't see them. I could swing it to Kasmina. I think that's probably a good play, swinging at Kasmina. It forces them to trade the Strix. And we can't save Teo anyway, so... we're forced to trade out of the Strix. Yeah. It's fine by me. Pass. Now, Wanderer deals with Bloom Hulk. Opponent's going to sack Kasmina.
Join my cause.
Which, if we hadn't have put the fucking Command the Dreadhorde as our 4th to last card, then that would be fine, but... Here, drop a New Horizon. So opponent really only needs 1 green by the looks of it to play all their green cards. Or they need double green for Arlinn Kord. If they've got Arlinn Kord in hand, I'm going to rip that with Toll the Invasion as soon as I can. As soon as I get black mana, I'm going to Toll the Invasion. Because I think I'm going to probably play Teo's Light Shield here and then Toll if I get black. Courage and Crisis, okay. We'll just get a 4/4. They put it on the one that can't attack, so bit of a mistake. Yeah, oops. So they're going to attack Teo with 2 wizards and then face with 4, I guess. Alright, wizards go in face. I'll just block wizards then. Block wizard. Spellkeeper weird. I guess we Wanderer. We're going to get rid of the... We can cast Dismissal the token, so we're going to get rid of the Bloomhold. And no attacks. So we can get trade on one of the wizards if they want to kill the Wanderer, so that's nice. So the thing is, right, one wizard is going to go through regardless, so we're not going to block the 4/4 because there's no point. We're just going to take the trade and keep the chumper.
My wandering continues.
So we dealt with one of their creatures, so the Wanderer is just 4 mana removal, which is fine. We're going to play the Spellkeeper and hold up Dovin's Veto. If they crush Descent here, that would actually be pretty good for us, but it doesn't look like they want to. And we will swing with the Drake, because they're going to swing with the 4/4 and we can't deal with it right now, so we're just going to push 2 damage. Arlencord. Oh, they're going to start proliferating on this bad boy some more. Because as soon as we draw black mana, we just bounce it and it dies, so... are we safe to take 4 damage? Probably safe to take 4, so just no blocks. Okay. Alright, so we got the Callous Dismissal. So, Callous Dismissal is bad boy. And they've got Toll of the Invasion in hand, so we're just going to play around it. Just go face for 2. And if our opponent wants to die in 10 turns, they're welcome to. If they just want to hold on to said card. I could take Tamiyo's Epiphany back to try and dig towards my combo some more, but we just need black mana, that's all. Do I care about sacking the Spellkeeper weird for Tamiyo's? I don't think I do. We are going to return Tamiyo's. I think their last card is Crush Descent as well. I'm fairly certain it is. Okay. So we're going to play the Saheeli Silverwing to increase the clock. Got the top card of their library. It secures Dambreaker, which is pretty scary. We can't Dovin's Veto that, so that's unfortunate, but we can just hit them for 2. We're not in a particularly bad spot right here, because if they play the Dambreaker for pressure, they can't hold up Dovin's Veto, so... But we don't really have an answer to Cura's Dambreaker aside from Ob Nixilising it as it attacks, and then maybe trading the token for it. He's going to proliferate on nothing. Okay, no escape. We're going to Tamiyo's Epiphany for black mana. Oh wow, 2 swamps. I'd love 2 swamps. I need 2 swamps. And the Visionary's nice because he can ditch all of our extra land, and the Reaver's nice because we can just use it as a chump blocker, so we'll take it like that. Okay, so we play the swamp, and we can hold up Ob Nixilis's Cruelty, but if he's got Crush Descent, I want to get rid of it. Oh, there's Crush Descent. Fuck, told you! Told you! Told all of you. Crush Descent, man. We're just going to swing for 2. That way we can kill the Grizzly if he decides to swing with that. And we can just chump the Dambreaker with our wall, so it's not too bad. Oh, it's a Rowlesk. Well, I guess I'll hold up No Escape, right? The only sensible thing to do. Now we'll just block the wall. We will tap blue and actually, do we need the extra white mana? I don't think we do, so we're going to tap blue and white for the we do need black for the Reaver, so I guess we'll do it like this. Okay, and do we cast another one of our cards? We could Tyrant Scorn and hold up No Escape. I think that seems fine. We're going to destroy the Vivian's Grizzly because that gives them a lot of card selection. And push face for some damage. I think we're just going to push face for 6. They're dead next turn, so... The Rowlesk, they're forced to play the Rowlesk just to put flying blockers in play. So Rolas comes down, he gets countered, opponent dies. Just good game then. Okay, so the deck wins. Not bad, not bad. I'm surprised that a deck so focused on playing Command the Dreadhorde is actually winning games without playing Command the Dreadhorde, but I guess the deck itself is just like a fine control deck, so it takes our opponent's value, it puts it in exile, and then it slowly beats them to death with the Thunder Drake, so yeah, seems fine. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode, because I need to go have breakfast and sort myself out, because it's very early morning for me. And yeah, I'm going to sort myself out because I've got a draft to play later today, and I'll probably finish recording this later today as well. Not that you'll actually see this the day that I record it. Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have such a backlog of videos. You'll have seen probably about 20 different drafts before you get to this one. There you have it. Anyway, it's been me, Chaff Commander Coffee. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.